Met you out in Houston with your girl. Said I wanna try something brand new now. Maybe if I knew I was your only one.
Mike Cheggedy, Mike Cheggedy, Mike Cheggedy. We alive. What's poppin', what's poppin'? It's your boy Word on the Damage Control Podcast, back at it again with a new episode where the damage is controlled. Got my co-host TC in the building. How you feeling over there?
I'm feeling good.
TC in the building, man. We back for, I believe this is episode 5, season 2. This has been an interview run. Like I said once before, we doing all interviews for the most part for this season. So it's already been exciting. Today we got another great artist, another great individual. You know what I'm saying? I'm excited to get into this one. How your week been, TC? How you feeling over there?
Man, it's been a long one. I've been working really hard, but I'm glad to be here with you, bro. And I'm excited about this guest we got tonight.
Oh, yeah, I'm stoked, man. I'm a huge fan. And for the listeners or the viewers, we switching it up, on the remote podcast today. We had to make some things shake to make sure we get this interview in, man. We going across seas, we had to get some passports for this one. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, I am stoked to get into this new guest we got today, man. She is, come to find out, somehow, I don't know if I believe it, it may be a myth. She has no musical background. I found that as something stellar and unbelievable. Also, as a vocal coach, I may have to, request some of her time so I can get some vocal lessons myself. I'm going to need some of that. I may put a discount if we can get that. Also, man, she got 3 projects out. The way I found out about her, honestly, was I was up doing a stream and I was listening to this YouTube playlist. It's a live playlist, 24/7. Matthew Chavez, shout out to Matthew, man. He always got some new artists on there that I'm always going to go check out. And the song just came on. I was not even really paying attention to the music, but I always think somebody's special if the music stops me in my track. I put down my phone. I'm like, yo, who is this? Like, voice was crazy. She has a way of just, being really in touch with feelings and just making you feel somehow. You know what I mean? I struggle with that as being an artist myself for some time. But it seemed like, from Project 1, this was something she was already equipped with. So, yeah, man, without further ado, I'm talking about the great, grandiose Autmn Rains. How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. How are you? What an intro.
Hey.
Thank you for that.
I be with the intros.
Hey, I be trying to grease up. I always got to brag on the people I bring in, you know what I mean? Because if you here, I must think you great, you know what I mean? So definitely think you wanted that, you fit that. And how was your day going today, though?
Good. It's like Saturday here for me. So it's, just about to be noon. So we're in the future.
Wow.
Slight flex. That's what it sounds like. The music is already ahead of everybody. You know what I'm saying? But man, it is great. That's always. I thought that was gonna be interesting. Though, when I found out the time difference, I didn't know it was that wildly different. Like you already in the next day. I was like, yo, that's crazy, yo. Like we shooting on one day and you already in the next day. I'm like, that's crazy, man. But glad to have you here. Excited to really get into this interview. I got a fan out, like I said, I'm definitely a huge fan of your music. I'm a huge fan of pretty much like everything I've heard so far. It doesn't really disappoint. You know what I mean? 3 projects though. Like, how does it feel to be like 3 projects seen so far? You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm kind of just getting started, to be honest. So, I mean, like I feel like sometimes I look back and I'm like, I can't believe that I've done 3. But yeah, I feel like I'm really excited to just like keep going and experiment and see like how far I can, push myself, as an artist. So yeah, I just feel like I'm kind of getting started, which is like, not a bad thing, I guess.
Yeah. Now that's what's up. Yeah, 3 projects, because I feel like it hasn't been that long in the window that you released the music. I feel like they all have been, if not consecutive years, pretty close together. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I always can appreciate that when it comes to an artist. Like, some people kill me for it, but like, so Kendrick Lamar's, don't get it twisted. Kendrick Lamar is great.
Yeah.
But one of the knocks I always say about Kendrick is the space between projects. I'm a fan, but if I was like a stan of Kendrick, I would probably be more a little, irritated with that, because I always want my artist to kind of be somebody that kind of floods me with music. Like Wayne was like one of my favorites, still is one of my favorites, and that's something he pride himself about, just having a lot of music. You know what I mean?
I think it's hard. Like I personally feel like, although it seems like I've done, one a year since 2019, like I wish I could have done more, but it just takes me a long time, like, to be honest, to put it together. Although like if that makes sense, although it seems like it's pretty consecutive, for me, it feels like a long time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I put it out and I'm like, okay, I want to do the next one. But then it literally takes me a whole nother year and I'm like, go through this process. So yeah, no, like I can see both sides to like to that. Yeah.
I gotta give great, because I'm an artist myself. Like recently I had an actual song with my homeboy. He wanted to put it out, and it was a feature already done, but when you give somebody a verse or something like that, you don't know when they're gonna put it out. And when they give it back to you, you may not be as the most comfortable. Like my whole recording session switched. Like my vocals sound different, the creative process is a little different. And then one thing we always talk about is some of our favorite artists giving us duo tapes. And when I was like kind of indifferent about my verse, I was like, I understand why like a lot of projects may not happen, because artists just be on two different creative processes and like the stage they in and creating, you know what I mean? So I'll be like, I understand, like, people processes sometimes take long and you may be more speedy. Like Future's another guy, he dropped like 3 projects a year, I feel like. So, but Autmn Rains, what's the origin of that? I love the spelling, by the way. Like I was like, I want to listen to her just off the name alone. It brings you in, you know what I mean? So where's that stem from now?
Because like originally when the name happened, like I didn't really, like it wasn't on purpose, if that makes sense, but it was me. So I guess how it came about is I was working with one of the first engineers I worked with in the States, and he recorded me once, and then I came back to Australia and I was like, look, I want to change my name. I want like 2 names. I didn't want it to just be one. And he was like, oh, what about like Autumn Rose or Autumn Rain? But he spelt it as if like the season, and I was like, oh, I really like that, but I don't want to be like kind of too corny with like doing the season kind of thing. So I was just like, oh, I'll just take the U out. And then you know how you go on Google and you're like, oh, we'll see if anyone's got this name. Like literally no one had the name, so I was like, oh well, it kind of like worked out. But now when I like reflect on it, it does kind of represent the music that I make, because I feel like it's kind of moody, like it just kind of, it makes a lot of sense. So it was almost like the name was given to me without me kind of like putting meaning to it, but it was me like in how I operate anyway. It's kind of weird to explain.
It worked out.
So
it worked out.
It worked out. Yeah.
It definitely worked out. Names, names, man. Names, sometimes the cover art, I sometimes I like to say it don't matter, but unconsciously it actually does. Like, especially when it comes to branding, you know what I mean? How easy it is to like discover you. Like you said, like you made sure like nobody else kind of had that type of name. You made it unique by taking the U out. Yeah, that definitely go a long way for sure. For sure. So 2019, is that where music started for you, or was you doing music prior to that?
So I was singing since like 2014, like taking it more serious. But yeah, like me coming out as an artist was like 2019, like as Autmn Rains. So there was a lot of background work for many years before I kind of like before when I started music late. Like when you refer to the musical background, I guess I put that, like I describe myself as that is because a lot of artists grow up like singing or in a musical family and like doing music from a young age. Like that wasn't me at all. It was something that I kind of did like later in life, like in my 20s is when I started like taking it serious. So
nice.
So yeah, it's been a while. yeah.
So in other words, you put your 10,000 hours already in.
Yeah.
10,000 hours. You know, they say it takes 10,000 hours to master something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think singing, like, you know, obviously, like, there's always more to learn. You can always, like, improve yourself. But I put a lot of energy and hours into, like, singing. Like, I never used to sing in pitch. Like, I promise you, like, that's no joke. Like, I had, like, the natural ability to sing. But in terms of, like, actually being in my voice and discovering it, like, that took a really long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if in the intro I mentioned that. Yeah, you from Australia, right?
Yes, I am.
And so I'm
You
horrible.
mentioned about crossing the seas.
Yeah. Getting passports and all this, right? I'm horrible geographically. Like, so Australia is a country, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And so is it? So it's states in the States, right? What is it? Is it we're at in Australia? Like, how do y'all do that? Like, just give me a rundown right quick if you can. I'm terrible with it.
As in like what it is? Or
I guess what part of Australia?
I'm from Melbourne. So, like, kind of at the bottom of Australia.
Okay.
Yeah. One of the main kind of cities. Yeah.
And who is like some people that are like, you know, I guess the States or America would know that come from there, if you got any in mind.
Like the Kid Leroy, he's from Australia.
Okay. Kid, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think Kid Leroy fire. Yeah.
You would know
nice.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Izzy Azalea is Australian. I think H.E.R. There's a lot of like, yeah, those I guess older artists now that you would say they're not old, but you know they're from
they've been out for a minute.
It's been out for a while.
Actresses that are from there.
Actors or actresses?
Yeah, like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that's
Margot Robbie. She's Australian. Yeah,
nice.
So there's a few.
Nice.
That's awesome.
You mentioned you kind of started to talk about it as far as like you didn't grow up as far as like with parents doing music and things of that nature. Like how kind of was your childhood growing up? Was it just like, you know, you went to school? Just kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, like went to school. Like my childhood was like a bit challenging at times. Like my mom was kind of like she had like a lot of mental health and like drugs and stuff. So like emotionally, like it was kind of a lot for me to be in that environment. So I feel like I had to grow up really quick, kind of, to be honest, to like take care of myself, like my siblings. So yeah, there was a lot, I guess, you know, emotionally that I struggled with. And I feel like I took a lot of that on, which wasn't mine. And then so a lot of my like later life has been processing that and just like, you know, finding a way forward. And, you know, like everyone's cards are like dealt for them, but it's what you, I guess, do with them, you know, like afterwards. So I focus a lot on that and like healing. But yeah, I went to school. I then went to like uni and I actually studied like legal and dispute studies. So then I worked. Yeah. So that's like my like degree, I suppose. And then I went into like social work. So I've done that like alongside like doing music, if you say. Yeah.
Okay. So you do
life. You done live.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So the social work,
had a double life.
So the social work is happening alongside the music currently as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nice. That's what's up. Australia. I told you I'm already horribly geographically, but the lifestyle. How is life in Australia? You know, I'm so Americanized. I haven't been out the country yet, but I'm looking to get out the country for sure. So, but how is life over there? What is it like?
It's pretty chilled. Like it's kind of boring if you say like when I go to America, I feel like there's so much to do all the time, and like here, I feel like life is like a lot about working, and I guess like chilling out at home. like there are things to do here, but like, you know, things close early, so there's not as much to do as like when you go to America. Like I just feel like there's always things happening over there. But it's chilled. Like it's, you know, it's a really beautiful place. You know, it's my home, so I can't, you know, like I don't know anything else, but yeah, like you should come down and visit. We'll go to the zoo. I'll show you the cake.
That would be so exciting. Like I'm all about like traveling, and like Australia is just like, so when you look at it on the map, it looks far. So it's just like the reality of traveling there is far. Yeah.
What's that flight duration like? In that flight price? What's that hitting for? That'll depend on if I'm gonna be able to pull up. You know what I'm saying?
It's like 15 hours. 15
Ooh,
or so. Are you from the East Coast?
I'm not, so it's probably gonna be another 2 to 3 hours on top of that. I'm in the middle of the state, St. Louis, like we in the middle.
We Midwest.
So yeah,
Midwest America.
So
okay.
TC, can we fly internationally straight? I think we got to go like to Chicago at least, right?
You probably have
would have to go to one more. Yeah, we would probably have to go to like Chicago or New York or somewhere and fly out of there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's further from there. It's
yeah.
Yeah. So like, and the price, it's not cheap. It's not cheap, sadly. So, but yeah, it's, yeah.
But it's a straight 15. I suppose it'd have to be a straight 15. It's no. I ain't flew in a minute. I ain't flew since before pandemic. What is it called when you got a transfer flight? What's that called again?
Like
a layover,
like a connected flight. Layover.
Yeah.
I ain't flew in so long. Last time I left, I flew was like in 2020 when I went to LA. Yeah, I think that's the last time I flew. So it's been a minute. But 15 hours.
So
it's a long flight. Like if you're not used to it, it's a killer. And then the jet lag, because the time difference is like so the day, you know. So when I go to the States, I always try to like stay up, but then I end up not always. Yeah.
Now I can imagine 15 hours doing anything for 15 hours is a long time, let alone be up in the earth for 15 hours. So I know that's tough, man. That gotta be a whole different situation. Australian music scene. What is that like over there for you? Like, did you listen to music in the like Australia, or were you listening to States like American music? How does that kind of fold for you?
I've always listened to American music like since I was younger. I feel like the scene's really small here. In terms of the music that I listen to, and like R&B is not really like, it's never been a big kind of thing. Yeah, I think it's improving. But yeah, like the scene's really small. And to be honest, like because I started a bit later, like I don't really get out a lot. Like I don't really go out and like do a lot, to be honest. So I don't know that many artists here. Like I know a couple. I know obviously the artists that I coach that are up and coming. But in terms of the actual scene, like it's pretty small here. And I think like a lot of people, you know, kind of end up going to the States. But yeah, all the music I listened to was always American, which I guess makes sense with my sound and how I make music. So
yeah, those
are my influence. Yeah.
You flexing on us with saying that you know all the people you coach. Right. We gonna get into that.
That's not.
That's dope. Everybody ain't got that title. You know what I mean? But we gonna get into that for sure. It's interesting to see to hear you say that R&B. I mean, it's interesting because R&B necessarily isn't the premier genre here. It is rising fast though. Like it's been a whole lot, especially with the females singing over in the States. But is it mainly? Oh yeah. 90s? Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What's the premier genre over there? Is it like pop or is it something alternative? Like kind of what is it everybody's on the radio right now?
Everyone like listens, like all of the stuff they play on the radio here is American, but I would say it's like the pop, that's the predominant like culture that they play.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's interesting. I would love to see see how that scene is over there. Are they pretty receptive to the R&B that you coming out? Like you feel like Australia really band behind you and you kind of got a lot of that as far as your fan base, or is it kind of internet, kind of where the audience is coming from for you?
Nah, my fan base is like overseas. Yeah, from the US mostly. Yeah.
Okay.
I've come across more fans here now, like recently. Like I've met a few people in person, and like it's slowly increasing. But I think it's that thing of like when you do it in your own city, like you're not really accepted until later on. So I don't know if that's like a thing over there. Yeah. So I feel like, yeah, predominantly it's been overseas. Like, yeah, the States, Brazil, big fan of my music, which is like amazing to me.
Nice.
But yeah, mainly the internet. But that's okay. I'm okay with that. Like,
so what's like, I just throw it out there. You know, we throw it out there as artists, making it big or making it. What is that like? What's that plateau for you? What does that look like?
Like I would love to tour and be able to do that like by my own means. Like I'm independent, like 100% independent. So obviously like that's really difficult to, you know, I do essentially fund everything myself. So that's really, really hard. So, you know, I guess if I were to have some sort of support, it would have to be, you know, something that would, you know, I'd agree with, that I'm not selling my soul, I guess. So if I were to come across, you know, a deal that supported me to do what I wanted, like that would be probably the ultimate for me. Like have that freedom, but yeah, be able to tour and get my music far. But you know, it's hard to come across that stuff. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the first date in the States, wherever it is. I'm gonna do my best to pull up for show.
Yeah,
we are gonna be there. Okay.
That's what I'm about to say. Like, it may be a show that I'm throwing because have you ever done a show in the States or no? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, that gotta happen. That'd be dope. I think yeah, that'd be dope. What you say, TC?
No, I said we're gonna be front and center. We're gonna be right there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's definitely a goal of mine. Like I would love, that's on my list for sure.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that for sure. It's definitely gonna happen. So getting into the music a little bit, like kind of explain your creative process when it comes to how you approach music. Where do you grab the inspiration? Is it purely art? Is it like a reflection of real life? I mean, I already probably can answer that because everything it seems like that. But how do you approach your creative processing? Like, where the inspiration come from?
So my producer, like my main producer, like he kind of is like the mastermind of like the actual sound. So he'll like make me beats. You know, like he'll often like start some of the songs, and like he helps me write a lot. But when I'm like in that space, like I'm not intentionally like going, oh, I'm going to write about this. It's kind of like a stream of whatever's coming out. And then for me later, when I'm putting the pieces together, I'm like, okay, this is the theme. So I'll start making the songs. We'll see like what's kind of sounding good. It's kind of like, you know, it's an experiment. It's not like, you know, not every song you record like is going to work out. So we kind of go through that process. It takes a lot of time. And then like for me, I kind of go along in life, like I'm living my life. And then I'm like, okay, I think this is like the theme of the project. And often it is the theme of my life, but I don't really know it at the time until I can like work it out and put words to it. So I know that sounds really confusing, but that's kind of like how the process goes. But yeah, I'm just like, I kind of just like trust whatever is meant to come out, comes out, and whatever I finish is what is meant to be on there. I feel like I used to be really controlling with like, okay, this song sounds really good or this demo sounds really good and I need to finish it. But nowadays I'm just more like, I just kind of like trust that, okay, if I didn't finish it, it's for a reason. It's not kind of meant to come out. So I kind of go, have more flow with my process now. Which definitely helps because it's super frustrating when, you know, sometimes it's like you feel you're on this time limit, or I often feel like that where I'm like, oh, people are going to want music. Like I need to hurry up. But at the same time, I'm like, I never want to like rush my process. So, I'm a lot better with that now. If that that makes sense.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Shout out to the producers and the engineers, the behind the scene folks. You know what I'm saying? They don't get enough love, but you know, a lot of times the magic does.
They're everything.
Yeah, they everything. And what's his what does he go by? He or she?
London Ave.
London Ave.
Yeah.
Shout out to London Ave.
Yeah.
Shout out to London Ave. That's what's up. So you seem to talk about a lot of relationships, of course. Is that correct? Now hold on. Why now?
It was the alley hoop to that. It was coming.
So why is that funny now? Hold on. Now, is that how you act when you kind of get nervous? You just that's how I am. I laugh at anything. I could be about to cry and I laugh. Like, that's just me. But is that what it is though?
I mean, yeah, like, I don't know. I never like intentionally was like, oh, all my music's gonna be about relationship. It was kind of just like, it just kind of happened. But yeah, like my projects are a reflection of like what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And what I've been through, like in my, like, you know, slightly exaggerated here and there.
Oh yeah, that's the music. You got to. Oh yeah. Trust me, exaggeration is a part of the madness for sure. So relationships, you know, you got a lot of romance. Love is sprinkled in there somewhere for sure, all over the projects. So like when you think of love in kind of from either like, do you, I know for me, I a lot of times unconsciously talk about love in almost only exclusively to a relationship. I ain't saying that's you, but when you think of love, what is it to you? Like, how do you describe it? Is it something you do like that, or how you see it?
Yeah, I do it like similar. Like it is. I do it in a like what you kind of said. But I don't know. Like I feel like sometimes though I'm talking about myself. Like it's almost like a reflection of myself. But then because you know it's like everyone's a mirror to you. So obviously, what I'm kind of getting from a relationship is probably what I'm doing to myself. And so, it's been like pretty like a therapeutic thing for me to go through that and like realize, oh, like maybe I'm not receiving this because I'm treating myself like this, if that makes sense. But I feel like my definition of, if that makes sense. But my definition of love definitely like changed compared to how I used to view it. Like I feel like, you know, two people should like come together and be completely whole within themselves, and then they kind of like complement each other. So definitely learning that along the way, because it's hard. It's really, really hard.
That's interesting. TC, just to get another female perspective, how do you view that, TC? It's forced love. Yeah. She like, am I getting an interview tonight or what?
Let me tell you something. I haven't been, as far as relationship wise, I've never been successful in it, but I have loved so many people, like friends, family have said I love hard and I love well. But when it comes to relationships, I have not. Sometimes guys might say I'm not as attentive, and that's literally because I live in like my own world, so it's a little different for me. So when I fall into somebody and really like them and start like paying attention to them and loving on them, and then they screw up, I be mad. Like I usually don't even pay attention to y'all, so I be frustrated.
She said, "I usually don't even pay attention to y'all." Nah. I think perspectives on love is, like you said, it's forever changing for sure. But I know some definites that I think about for sure is just like words like almost being selfless in a sense, and like sacrificial is not really about you. It's more so about the outward look. You know what I'm saying? But self-love is definitely something you got to prioritize as well. But it's always interesting to hear people perspective and they ain't going there, because I know it's just always different for so many different people. Especially, I think experiences shape how people view love too, and it's always different because everybody going through so much. You know what I mean? So, that's interesting. It definitely is something that bleed through the music. and feelings, like I was talking about earlier, like you like if you listen to your music and somebody say they can't feel it, I would think they was just like not human. You know what I mean? Like that's the one thing that you take away. Feelings.
Thank you.
The emotion.
You definitely feel the emotion. Oh my goodness.
The emotion. And then London Ave, he just do a great job of conveying that already through the production. You know what I mean? Like it feels like you can't be happy. Hold on, I ain't gonna say that. It doesn't feel like you just celebrating the most happy things. And I ain't saying feelings are just automatically negative or downward, but it feels like it's coming from a true, authentic space in your heart. It ain't just like I went in the studio and created something that sound good. No, you feel that. Like you ain't gonna put it on wax if it's not that. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. Like that's what I was saying about like I get so down on myself going, I'm taking so long, but I cannot put it out if I do not feel it. Like, I know, because like just from learning like how to sing or like be an artist, it's like if you're not in that space, no one else is going to believe you or no one else is going to receive it, you know? So that's like
you could say that again. If you not in that space, ain't nobody else go. You can say that again. I had to. I feel it for sure. I'm so glad that comes across because, and I guess that is like, it's that like me being so diligent in that, but also that's kind of me as a person. Like I'm pretty emotional and like sensitive. So it just kind of comes across because I feel things really deeply, like on another level.
I can tell that when I listen to your voice. I can also always tell when people like are involved with the writing process of their music. I mean, some people are able to do it without writing, but you know when people are involved with the writing process, you could just feel that emotion or what they've been through, and it flows through the music. So I really love that about your art.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate
that. For sure. That was I know for me sonically, like my ear does lean towards how somebody sounds probably by default, but what the staying power is what they saying. You know what I mean? Like you can sound amazing. I cut you on, you may have a few records on the rotation, but like you an album project artist, and not everybody. Like not everybody is really that. And the music is so good. Like I feel like even if you don't even have singles, they sequence together, and it makes somebody want to listen to the whole project. I'd rather have that anyway. Like I'd rather have somebody love me for a whole album rather than just one single. You know what I mean? I feel like you definitely talented in that for sure. Who were some of the inspirations though, as far as from an artist standpoint? Was it anybody once you got in 2014, you said, like, was it anybody that made you say, I want to sing? Or I know you say your mother didn't, your parents and things wasn't musically influenced, but like, was it anybody in the industry that you looked up to, or who currently is that now for you?
Aaliyah was like my ultimate, or she's still.
We gotta make some noise for Aaliyah. You almost took my heart with that one.
I know. I was like, oh my God.
Rest in paradise to the late great Aaliyah for sure. That was you automatically grandfathered into the Damage Control podcast with that. No kidding. I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, we almost can't even be mad whoever you say after that. I mean, Aaliyah's where you start. Like, man, I feel that. I feel that for sure. I feel that.
She was like one of probably the first influences of me just like singing and like going into like, okay, what kind of music do I want to make? So she'll always be like, my ultimate like influence. In terms of now, like for me, Janae Aiko was like another massive.
Look at her. Look at TC. Hey.
You don't even know she's like her and her sister Mila J. They are in constant rotation. For me.
Love her.
Constant rotation.
I love her.
Yeah, you definitely, so you definitely being guided by the musical gods in that space for sure. For sure. I appreciate. I honor them. I praise them highly.
Especially when it comes to emotion, like Janae.
Yes, emotion. And for me, like, I would observe her, right, and be like, she's not one of those, like, extroverted artists. And, like, I'm an introvert. So the way I kind of sing and express is, like, I'm very, like, internal into myself. And I would watch her and I'd be like, this girl is, like, not the typical artist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in terms of, like, big show and performing and dancing and, like, all these things. And, like, that was always something that I felt like would be a barrier for me, because I was like, I don't want to kind of present that way. Like, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not me. And so I always, when I would watch Danae, I'd be like, well, if she can kind of like do this, then maybe I can too. So it was more than just her music for me. It was like the way she performs. It's the way that she presents as an artist. Like, it kind of, you know, I feel like she kind of created a new template for like people like myself who are pretty introverted and don't want to like be so out there, if that makes sense. So that was like a big thing for me, like watching her and thinking, okay, I could do this. Yeah.
That's big. I got a lot of love for them for sure. You kind of spoke about it earlier when you was talking about you being indie right now and kind of how that's been for you. So like, how, I know that like you said, you finance everything by yourself. I'm indie too, so I know how it is. You finance, you try to pull from resources wherever you can get them. Just elaborate a little bit more on that and piggybacking off of one of TC questions, like along that road and just working in the industry, has it been any like things that kind of got in the way as a woman that kind of made it even more difficult? And if it has, like, just explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, I think like I haven't had a particular situation with that, but I just think in general, it's difficult to like express sometimes how I truly feel about things, because I see, you know, people come out and say things and then they're getting like a lot of shit for it when it's like taken the wrong way. And like, it's purely out of like expression. Like, I think these days people are so easy to like cancel people on like just, you know, like, and they're not even saying things that are that out there, but I always feel like it's such a male dominant industry. And I feel like women just kind of get more like, you know, attacked, to be honest. So it is really hard to like navigate sometimes in terms of like, oh, I believe in this, I want to say it, but you know, like, should I not say it? And so I definitely struggle with that. Like, I'm not confrontational. Like, I don't like to be kind of, you know, in drama or situations like that. But it's hard to like have a voice sometimes because I feel like, you know, like I have learnt a lot along the way, and I do know kind of a lot of, you know, how things work now compared to like how I used to. But yeah, there's definitely the fear of like, you know, not being accepted and not being like acknowledged for like, you know, my like what I know at times. So it's definitely challenging, I would say. Yeah,
that's interesting. TC, how about you?
What, as far as being a woman?
Yeah, in the industry, even just in entertainment though, not just exclusively music.
I would just say it is sometimes when you're a little bit too expressive or opinionated, it could come off for women that you're being difficult or hard to work with or different things like that. But it's just like when a male does the same thing, people call him a boss or he's handling business. But with a woman, it looks like, oh, she thinks she's a man, or she thinks or she's a bitch or all these different things. It's like, no, I'm telling you how I feel. That doesn't make me a bitch. That means I'm expressing myself or handling business like I'm supposed to. But it could come off as I'm trying to be the man or I'm trying to be aggressive, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, I love that.
Or it might be the case. I might be trying to handle it. You know what I'm saying? So take that.
I agree so much with that. And even just like when people reach out to me and like, you know, they just think because I'm a girl, I'm going to just like do what they say. Right. And it's like, well, no. So I'm like, I've gotten better at like boundaries and just not like, you know, not having to like explain myself if I don't get back to you or whatever. So, you know, it's hard. So but you have to manage it.
So, like, I know you talked a lot about like your upbringing. Does that reflect sometimes in your music? Do you tell stories about your childhood, or somewhere in that nature? Do you speak about that at all in your music?
Not directly, but I think it does come across in the sense of like not feeling worthy and like not being like not feeling enough. So that definitely is like a theme, and that I feel has run alongside, because then that comes into relationships. Like when you're in a relationship, that gets brought up the most when you're in in partnership with someone. Like your wounds come up more than they would in a friendship. So I think it's definitely all related. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to women handling business, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to women handling business and women in business. You heard?
Yeah.
Now that's what's up. Shout out to Autumn too. You actually the first female that we interviewed on Damage Control. So you making history on Damage Control history books.
That's amazing.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So excited to feel like that feminine energy, like what I'm saying, with you, because we've had a lot of male guests. We've had a lot of male guests, and most of the male guests we've had, and even our hosts, shout out to my bro Word, are alpha males. It feels good to have another alpha female on here with me. So that's a great thing.
Yeah, I'm honored to have you. I'm honored to have you. I didn't know if you was gonna play me to the side or do it, but no, I could tell like you was a real one. I could feel your energy through the music already. I was pretty confident, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad you're here for sure. So,
thank you.
So I'm looking at the projects right now. Going back to 2020, you got Run to You, Safe House, and You Know I Can't Stay. Is it a story being told sequencing from 1 to 3? Or they, you know what I mean? Is it, because when I'm looking at the covers, when I just look at the covers, it looked like almost like you can visualize what's happening. You listening to the songs, some things are ongoing. Kind of break it down. I'm trying to do a little deep dive on your music and see if I crack the code.
It actually, no one's ever asked me like in that way. Yeah. But it is, now that I think about it, like a continuing story. So it's like Run to You is like, I want to get with you, but there's like issues. In the end, we do end up together. And then Safe House is like a similar kind of thing, like a similar story. Like, we're together, but there's a lot of issues still. Yeah. And then, I Can't Stay is kind of like, well, I kind of need to leave, even though I don't want to. So it is like a progression and a story without me even like meaning for it to be that way.
Just organically happen that way.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah. Like I was really intentional with like the theme of each EP. Like I was really intentional with that. But in terms of like overall, like, it is like a little series, I suppose. Yeah. Thanks for asking that question. I love that.
Yeah, for sure. I was, I love artists that not only the music is dope, but the branding and the campaign around it, holds up to the same standard as the music. Yeah, like when I go to your page or IG, you feel like you getting glimpses of kind of who this person is, like it's real, and you kind of like so you introverted, correct?
Yeah.
Right. But the music is real. It's bold in the sense that it's communicating a constant message. You know what I mean? Like you ain't jumping, like you ain't doing, I ain't saying you can't do this, but it's consistent. Like you ain't doing rock or the colors ain't this. Like even with the colors, like they all seem to be kind of dark tone. The music feel like you listen to it at night. In the way that your voice kind of goes over the canvas of the production, it just all glues together like a glove. Like salute to you on that for sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you for noticing. Because like I really try to like like come across that way. Like like not that I try really hard like I do, but that's definitely like the vibe. Yeah.
Is a lot of that
branding's like a big thing.
Is a lot of that you just kind of with yourself, or you got a team with that, or how is that for you, that process with that?
Like visually, I do a lot of it in terms of like what I want to do myself. Like I see a lot visually when I'm working it out. Like when I'm listening to music, like I see colors, I see like that kind of stuff. And then London actually helps me like with the photos. So we were like, oh my God, like what are we going to do? Like there was a time where literally like no one wanted to work with me, like photographer wise. Like no one would get back to me. Like I'm not joking.
That
like,
sounds crazy.
Yeah, like
I cannot
I
see.
swear.
That's crazy.
Oh man, that sounds crazy. Usually
like,
photographers are looking for people to shoot.
Yeah, like no one would like hit me back, and then I was like, "What's going on? Like, what is it me?" And I was like, "This is really hard. Like, how am I going to do this?" And then it's literally COVID happened, and then he was like, "Well, we're just going to have to do it ourselves." And I'm glad it happened that way, because we've then been able to form this image, I suppose, that you're talking about. Literally through like experimenting. Like I hated taking photos. I was never like open to that. That's why a lot of them are like, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not like looking a lot of the time.
Hey, I love that.
Yeah.
I love the people that look like they just candidly living life and somebody just happened to capture them. That's what I get from your phone. It's crazy because I try to manufacture that, but then I don't want to manufacture that, but you kind of have to. A lot of times I take my own photos, so I kind of gotta do that.
Yeah,
but it's like
no choice.
Yeah, but if you got somebody else,
love the way your IG look, like the flow of it and everything.
Thank you.
When I went and Word sent me the like information and everything, and I was just like, wow, it's a feeling that comes just from your page. I think it's really dope.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's taken a lot, like, for it to be that way. Like, I had a lot of like internal things to deal with in terms of like being on camera. Like being on camera with you guys here today, I wouldn't have done this like 3 or 4 years ago. Like I was it was like a big thing for me.
More comfortable in your skin.
Yeah, being comfortable. Yeah, and like looking at myself and going like, oh, that's who I am. And it's because like I wasn't comfortable with who I was as a person. So it's been a long road. But yeah, like we just kind of experimented, like, you know, different cameras, like lighting, you know, like it's a process. Like Word knows, like he's been through that himself, and I think it does match the music, you know, like organically. So it kind of works, which I'm glad it happened that way.
So it's like not only have you grown as an artist, you're watching yourself grow and become more comfortable as a woman, which I think is really dope.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Definitely. Because it's, you know, this isn't easy.
Shouts out to that.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, because, you know, this journey is like, it's not easy, and that's why a lot of people, they give up, you know, because you have to face yourself. Like it's a lot.
Especially if they are authentic as an artist or a performer or a creative. Like you have to self-evaluating and looking at like, okay, where am I at now? Because it's going to reflect in your art, whether you want it to or not.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times it's going to reflect in the art that you do. Yeah. So that's really good to see that you are seeing that growth and kind of like you seeing yourself evolve in that way. I think that is so. That is dope.
Oh, thank you. Like, it's so needed, because I know that, like I said before, it's like people feel that, you know, if they're being real or not, you know. So I try to. Well, that's, you know, all I can do, you know.
Yeah. I think you just gave me a project title, Face Yourself. I like how that came off. Face Yourself. I'm with that. That kind of, you know, whenever I get an idea, I always put them in the notes. So this going to be recorded, so I'll be able to go back to it.
Oh, you'll have to go back and tell this story.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Give you your credit where the inspiration came from, right? Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at the 3 projects in like I said, you got Run to You, Safe House, You Know I Can't Stay. Like, which one is your baby? Which one is like the one you most proud of, and like why?
So hard. That's like asking someone which one of their kids is playing.
Right, yeah, it is. It is. If you ain't got no kids, and you talk about somebody's music as an artist, that's pretty much equivalent to that, I must say.
Okay, so I'm probably not going to be able to give you like one, but I can explain a little bit. So, like, Safe House is probably my favorite in terms of like, because I kind of put it out with no expectation.
Yeah.
I was really kind of like bold at the time, and I was just like, I'm just going to do it. And then it unexpectedly did really well. So I'm proud of myself with like the way that I approached that in terms of like it just going out, you know, like I didn't overthink it at all.
Yeah.
But I think like in terms of like vocally and You Know I Can't Stay, I think I'm most proud of in terms of where I'm at now, like with what I was able to do in that space. So yeah, I feel like that's probably my best body of work in terms of like the writing and the singing and all of that. But like it's hard. It's really hard.
I already know it's tough.
Yeah.
When you got 3 of them, you know, they all pretty solid. I think You Know I Can't Stay is my favorite for sure. I love what is it? I love Responsible. I love is it just I Just Want One?
I Just Want You.
I Just Want You. And then I love Last One too. I'm combining them. I love Last One. Yeah, Last One. Cold.
That one was like so my life.
Last one cold. That way I played that joint out. It's already like, you know, at the end of the year when they tell you how many your music library who you been playing the most, you probably gonna be up there for my playlist for sure. That's definitely gonna be in my end of the year most played for sure.
Thank you.
Like, those records are crazy.
Sonically it was like good. Like sonically it was it fits all together. If that makes sense. So that was like what we really wanted to do. Yeah. So I'm glad it came across. Yeah.
Is it a song that so Safe House is your biggest song, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
How does it feel like to know that you got one of those? Like, this is like my hit. Like when you perform, you know they gonna want that one. Like, how does it feel to have something like that?
I'm just happy to have one, to be honest. So like, you know, I'm just grateful for that people vibe with, you know, any of my music, because I never thought, like I'm so grateful for any love that I get, because I never thought I'd kind of get to this point. But it definitely feels good, like, you know, when you have like a consistent song that people are kind of talking about, and like, you know, because you have like imposter syndrome as an artist. You're like, oh, are they just telling me that? Yeah. You know, they tell me what I want to hear. But when you hear like more than one person kind of talk about it, you're like, oh, maybe I do have something. Like, so yeah, I'm just super grateful for like that in general, to be honest. I didn't think I'd achieve that. Yeah.
It's been times in my career where the songs that I was kind of the most iffy about was the ones that like resonated with the audience the most, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I'll talk about, there was one record where I kind of did as a parody, and it got coverage like on blogs and on the radio, and I'm just like, hey, they like it, I love it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna take it. Wavy, yeah. Wavy, that happened with Dead Heroes and Us, Worth It All. Everybody, when we performed that one, they loved that one. I was like, hey, y'all like it, we love it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. So the coaching, is that tied to the Autumn's Safe House, or is that something separate?
Yeah, so I do that, through Autumn Safe House, like in person. Like, I coach. At the moment, it's like younger people, so like 14 to like 19. I originally started out like mentoring artists. I was doing that like on Zoom, and like, because I had a lot of artists from the US, but then it kind of like naturally progressed into like teaching singing. So I feel like, yeah, like I love it so much. I feel like given what I've been through personally with like confidence and my voice, like I feel like the people that have kind of approached me, they're all about like, I want to improve my confidence, and they're like younger versions of me or like old versions of me. So I really like focus on trying to, you know, like help people be comfortable within themselves essentially, and then create like a safe space where they can like express themselves. And not all of them want to be artists, but it's more about just like feeling good. And, you know, like I never had a coach like that. So I kind of aspire to be like the person I wish I had.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Even the way you said you aspiring to be the person that you never had, and now you being there for others. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It sound like you a licensed therapist and a vocal coach over there. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. I know.
Is that in your second chapter?
Yeah.
That's in your second chapter, giving out therapy and counsel?
Maybe. Like when I look at my day job, I always looked at it as like, oh, it's a means until I do music. But now I actually view it as these are the skills I'm able to transfer onto helping people in music. So it's been like really amazing to look at it like that now, as opposed to like, you know, a job where I obviously have to like fund myself to survive. So it's been like really like great to look at it that way, you know. So I've got that, and then I coach for like H.E.R as well. So I'm not sure if you've heard of them.
I haven't. I've seen you've been posting it. It looks like it's something like a great tool for indie artists and things in that nature. You could elaborate on that.
Yeah. Like a community record label. And it was created by Mickey Shiloh. She's known as Michaela Naldo, if you've heard of her. She's like a really famous songwriter. Okay. She's written for like Janet Jackson and like heaps of people. So she like created, like she's like amazing. So it's her company, and it's like essentially you know, this one-stop shop for like artists to they're given the tools to be successful. So they provide like, you know, beats, access to producers, mix, you know, engineers, things like that, photography, cover art, and then like I provide like they provide like services. So I do vocal coaching, and it's all about like community and mental health, like because, you know, as an artist, like it's such a long journey and it can be really lonely. So like we literally get on these calls, and I think it's like helpful to know there are other people in your situation as well. So they're a really like great community, which I'm happy to be part of. And like I met her, I bought one of her ebooks, and she just like stayed in touch with me. And then down the line, she sent me an email. She's like, "Oh, what are you doing? Like, hope you're doing well." And I was like, "Oh, I've just been teaching singing." Like randomly said that to her. She's like, "Oh, would you want to like apply and do it for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So
that's dope.
It was like kind of a circle moment. Yeah, like knowing her for a couple of years and not really. Yeah. So yeah, it's really rewarding. I enjoy it.
That's I enjoy it a lot. I love them type of stories for sure. Just stuff like that happening. Yeah. And that's why I always tell people, you never know who's watching. You never know who's watching. You gotta work. You gotta work like somebody's always watching, because somebody technically always is. So don't slack. You know, don't be putting up things that don't represent the brand right. That's why when we was talking about your page earlier, it's just so like it gives off this person takes this serious. They really want, you know, this is a passion of theirs. It's not just a hobby. They see themselves as a career in this. Like, and you got to work like you always is somebody is watching. You know what I mean? And then like when you in person, credit to LeBron. Probably a lot of people that say this is never to really be an asshole. You know what I mean? Because you just know. Yeah. You don't know who you talking to. You don't know who you emailing. I try to send the most professional emails. I ain't trying to use slang. Like all that stuff matters. You know what I mean? It separates you from the pack. So now that's very important for sure. So, so how do people, if people want to get like vocal lessons or you know, get in contact with AutmnSafehouse, how do they do that?
Yeah, they can just hit me up to like Autmn Rains. I've got it all there. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Autmn Rains. That's what out to you, y'all. Autmn Rains.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, I know, because it's
spell it wrong all the time.
I already know.
I get it.
The graphic that you see that when we started the podcast, I had to go in and re-edit it because I put the U in there just, by default. I wasn't even thinking about it. But yeah, I know that matters for sure. So we gonna get into some quick takes next. And you can elaborate. You ain't gotta act like you ain't gotta feel as you've gotta answer quickly, but we just kind of run through them, and should be some fun ones in here. First up, we got respect or loyalty. Which one you gotta? You gotta pick one. You know what I mean? Like the one that is most dear.
So hard.
The one that you gotta have. You know what I mean? Like without this person can't be in my circle. What you going with?
You can't have loyalty without respect.
That's the answer everybody like to give right there. I feel it though. It's true though.
Probably loyalty.
Okay.
Cause you made me pick one.
Right. we gonna make it hard. You know what I'm saying? So the next one is wealth or what is this? Personality. So like, let's think of it in terms of like a partner or somebody that you're interested in. Like you rather be with somebody that's wealthy with a horrible personality or somebody with a charming personality. They check off all the, personality traits you want, but they not the most, financial stable when they bank account. What you think? Hey, that what you think. I put that when I put that what you think on the end, people be like, what do I think, right? I put that pressure on them when I say that.
Nah, personality. That one was easy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Is it nah, I got something else for you later. I ain't gonna ask them right now, but
okay.
Okay, here going to go with Janae or Scissor. You probably already gonna pick this one easily, but go ahead.
Yeah. You know it. It's Janae. I love her.
Janae Acko. Shouts out to Janae for sure.
Shout out.
This next one, I'm gonna ask you to elaborate a little bit on dinner or outside, like an adventurous date. Which one you gotta choose, and then in a perfect world, what does it like perfect first date look like for you?
Oh my gosh!
So you can answer the first one, dinner or outside, and then you got to.
Care. Like I don't care. Like
you pretty simple. You saying either you just happy if the guy even approaches and you say, hey, let's do this.
Like I don't care what we do, but I don't like being around like heaps of people. So like when things are like super busy, because like I can't hear myself. I can't hear the person talking. Like So yeah, for me it's like I don't care what we do as long as like it's not like super busy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll
do either.
You got a preference of what the perfect date would look like for like if somebody first time taking you out, what is it? You see how you thought you was gonna escape that one. Now I had to come back around the circle.
Man, I'm easy. Like just eating and I don't know. Like I'm really not like high maintenance, to be honest. I just like to enjoy time and spend time. Like doesn't matter what we do, to be honest. So I'm good.
Okay. I'm setting up everybody for the viewers that's interested in you with this one right here. So are you single?
Or about to be full.
Oh yeah, I'm setting up the alley-oop for the DMs to blow up. You hear me?
The perfect day and the environment.
Yes.
I am taken. I'm actually married.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hold on, we gonna get a close up. So everybody watching don't get no ideas. You hear me? You gotta flash it to it one more time. There it is.
Uh-oh. Bling bling.
She rocked up. Rocked up, fellas.
So funny.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And
no one's ever asked me that before.
Really?
Yeah. Or like, you know, one-on-one, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So how many interviews you done? Like as far as I get, because you told me over the pandemic you did a couple through the pandemic that was all kind of remote too. So it's been a couple since then.
Yeah, like 2 or 3. It's all been remote. Like I've never done an interview in person, so I'd love to do that one day.
Damage Control Part 2.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to meet you both.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know we gonna have a good time. We gonna be laughing.
Same.
Oh yeah, you get around me and TC, I mean, it'd be so much laughing. Your head be hurting by the end of that month. Sometimes we don't even know what we laughing at. We just laughing. I mean, it gets to that point.
That's healthy. That's healthy. That's good for you.
Yeah, laughter. This world is serious enough.
Yeah.
To have a moment where you laugh and just have time with genuine people is nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's nothing like it.
That's my favorite.
You got a couple quick takes for us, TC? Let TC get at you right quick.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Hold on, this is just, I mean, every episode this girl pull out the same I mean,
is that like music wise?
Here we go. Yeah, I like that. That's a good question, Autumn.
No. Overall entertainment, Michael Jackson or Prince?
Man, this is hard. Probably Michael Jackson.
Yeah!
You know.
Everybody, I think everybody just feel the pressure. TC gonna double down on that. She like, oh yeah, everything.
Love it.
Okay, so I have one more. Let's see. Yeah. Would you rather vacate somewhere or have a really nice staycation? What's more your vibe?
Vacate somewhere? What do you mean? Like
would you rather go to like another country or something like that, or would you rather have a nice staycation where you are in like a really nice hotel? Like, which one is more kind of your vibe?
Man. The second one.
The staycation?
Oh, staycation,
yeah.
Yeah. You save money with those.
You save a whole lot of money with a staycation. You ain't got to worry about travel, room and stay, expensive restaurants, Uber, Lyfts. Oh yeah, staycation is super budget friendly for sure.
Oh,
I love them, and it's more like it's like your home, but not really, because I'm like a homebody, so I enjoy those a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that.
If it's 2 artists that you could collab with, one being from Australia and one being from the States, who would that be? Who you got for us? Dream collaborations, one from your state and one from the States.
It's hard to pick someone from here because there's not that many.
You can give us 2 Americans if you want to.
Okay. Probably like Taylani. I feel like she would be such a good person to work with. Like I'm a huge fan of her.
Love Kalani.
We are too. We're big Kalani fans.
Yeah, I love Kalani.
Love her.
Yeah.
I just think the way she would create music would be like a vibe, like really fun. Like she seems like a really fun person. And probably her. Like I'm a big fan of her and her songwriting. Yeah, like the way that she writes is so interesting to me. So I feel like, she'd be my second. Yeah.
I love how mysterious she is. She reminds me of the old school way. Like when like social media, like she's so kind of private, but not private necessarily. And she has like this mysterious vibe to her, kind of like Sade. Sade is one of my favorite artists of the time. And they have this mysterious vibe that makes them very interesting. And, so I would love to interview one of them because you don't know nothing about them.
Oh my God. It's so true. And even when she came out, it was like, you didn't even know what she looked like. you know.
Right.
But yeah, I've like watched her, like I bought her songwriting course, and the way she writes is like just so interesting to me, like the way she views the world, and that's why her music is the way it is. Because it's like what her name stands for, like having everything revealed, and it's so like raw, and I feel like I like, she inspires me a lot with my writing. So I would love, that'd be like a dream of mine to work with her. Yeah,
I respect that a lot. You said you bought her course on songwriting, like that. Just the little things like that separate somebody that's just trying to do music and just want to be in it for a different agenda versus like somebody that's a real creative. Like that's an investment. You know what I mean? Like, shouts out to you for that. That's taking music serious and definitely is a passion when you're doing stuff like that. I pride myself and salute anybody else on that same type of time. So where would you love to see yourself as an artist in the next 3 to 5 years?
Yeah, I'd love to be touring. I'd love to be a touring artist by then, and just meet people. I've never met fans overseas. You know, I'd love to just like have something really intimate where I can really like connect with people, because I feel like I get like the most nicest messages about like how their music's impacted them, and I'm just like that's just crazy to me. Like it really is, because I like, it's surreal to me. So I just love to like meet people and like kind of see how people like see me, and what that would look like would be really interesting in terms of if I performed and how people would like receive that. I'd be really keen on doing that, and excited about how I would like do a show. I feel like it'd be really fun.
That's what's up.
That's nice.
It's exciting. That's exciting. Are you familiar with South by Southwest?
No. Is that an airline?
It sounds like Southwest is. I gotta give you some love for that. I mean, that if you're not from the States and you say, that's a pretty good answer. Like that is pretty good. Southwest is an airline, but South by Southwest is actually it's like a huge
festival.
Yes, it's festival / conference type of deal. I think it's probably for artists. I think it's maybe the best one, because it's like not one you just going to look at others. You actually engage and you can be a part of it.
Oh, wow.
And I just wanted to let you know about it. Like if it's ever a time that you're thinking about taking a trip for music, like business, and trying to elevate your career, I would definitely look into that. Like I think people would just gleam to you and see you live, and deals and labels and produce any aspect of music. If you put yourself there, I think somebody like you will flourish in that space for sure. So definitely check that out.
Yeah.
I went to it. I went to it.
Yeah.
I went to it in 2018, I want to say, and I've been to a lot of places in the States, but Austin was never a place I wanted to go. But it's probably the best trip I done been on, like, because music is such a priority.
Oh, wow.
It gained so much. I gained so much value from it. So it's definitely something worth taking a trip to for sure. Yeah, definitely check into that. What's next? I was talking to you off cam, saying I'm ready for another project. I ain't trying to apply too much pressure, but what's next? You know what I mean? You can either talk about music, you can talk about, the things you got going on with Hard Drive, AutmnSafehouse. Feel free to speak on whatever.
Yeah. Like definitely working on like building up, my coaching. I feel like, when you make music for like a certain amount of time, you got to find other ways to get inspired. So I need like to do things differently. And just like, do other things. So I'm doing that. I want to put a project out this year. I don't know. Depends on how the creative process goes, but I actually want to get more into like trying to produce or at least start the songs myself. So I've been like dabble with that, like in the background, like just trying to do basic things, like inspire myself in different ways to write, different, or just kind of see what comes out. I feel like, the more skills you add to, your skill set, like you have you get like a different outcome. So
yeah,
I've been experimenting with that, and yeah, I'm hoping to have something out. I'm actually moving house soon, so it's been a bit hard to work in the environment that I've been in terms of studio wise, because I can't really make a lot of noise where I'm at. But when I move into when I move house shortly, we'll be able to set up again properly and make a lot of noise. And I feel like that's when the creative process will probably begin properly again. So, yeah, I'm open. I'm open to seeing what happens.
Are you saying when you move house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I like how you said it. Move house. Yeah. No. Yeah. I like the cultural difference, the international difference. I love all that. Can we expect more music videos?
I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't mind doing like another one. Like I really want to do a video where it's like a film. Like it's telling the story of something.
Short film.
So yeah, like I always had this vision of like putting 3 of my songs together and like making it like a film. But
nice.
The opportunity hasn't presented itself just yet. So I'll see when it comes. Yeah.
I'm a director for you.
Take it. Take it.
I'm flying. I'm a director. Them are gonna be icy. It's gonna be nice.
Take a trip to St. Louis. We got you. TC, she directs. She got she'll get you right. No kizzy like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, TC do a whole lot of stuff. I do a whole lot of editing and videography. Like I love to work with any capacity when it come to that.
Amazing.
What you got? You got anything for TC?
So my Runaway Bride is back alive. I decided to go ahead and move forward with it. But it is going to take like another year because I want to do it justice. So, bringing this from a 3-minute short film to a hour and 20-minute long, stage play is not a easy process, but it's happening. It was going to happen before COVID. It got shut down, so I'm excited to bring it back, and grateful that I have the creative juices flowing back to get it going again. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's what's up.
That's amazing.
And Autumn, tell everybody, the viewers and the watchers, where they can find you. Social shout outs like social media and things of that nature.
Oh yeah. So yeah, just Autmn Rains, AUTMN.
That's AUTMN Rains, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So my handle's the same like everywhere. So Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Spotify, Autmn Rains. Yeah, you can find me anywhere. Just Google me.
Look her up. She is amazing.
Yeah, man. It's been an honor having you here for sure. It's been an honor having you here for sure. I enjoyed the entire episode, man. Like, I try to praise you as much as I can. You never know the next time you get to talk or things of that nature. So I try to give people flowers while I can. And you definitely is somebody that I love their music. It seemed like a dope person as an individual. I'm still, not going to put too much pressure on the next project. I'm going to be patient. You know what I'm saying? I said I may need some vocal lessons. I'm dead ass serious with the vocals for sure. Like, I need the vocals training for sure, yo. I think something could come from that for sure. And I'm looking for more things to come from you. Gonna keep an eye on everything you got going. And all the listeners and viewers, man, make sure y'all go check her out. Autmn Rains, you know what I mean, is her social handle. Glad to have you here. Any last words just before we get out of here from Autumn? How you feeling? Let them know. I'm rallying you up now.
I know, you're like, I just want to thank you both for having me for real. Like, this has been fun. I feel like it's really therapeutic for artists to be able to talk about their music, in this way. So I appreciate you both for like providing the opportunity and the platform, because we don't get a chance to really talk about it unless we're having an interview. So you both are amazing, and I've enjoyed it. I hope to do it again, hopefully in person.
For sure, in person. It's happening. Yeah. It's happening in person for sure.
Yeah.
Well, there y'all have it, man. Autmn Rains has came and blessed the Damage Control podcast. It was an honor. Appreciate her presence. Blessed us with some great stories, and just her story and inspiration. I really salute her, just being somebody that's really that comes across as a really creative and passionate about what they do. Inspiration to me talking to you in real time. So gotta always salute them. And Damage Control, we out of here. Yeah.
Met you out in Houston with your girl. Said I wanna try